episode 1 of How to Survive.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about how to survive
The Hermanator. We're going to go talk to some students about her class and get some advice or tips or things that was maybe hard to them in her class and see what they had to think, going through the Hermanator.
How would you describe Miss Herman's class in one word?
Have that pen and that paper.
Freaking. There we go.
Can I have two?
Yeah. Sure.
Hard but fun.
That's 3.
I would say it's a very concise class.
Difficult.
What helped you most through the year in her class?
It's later. No, I'm just kidding. Homework. The homework helped.
Probably going to her after class and getting one-on-one help. So if you have a problem with a question in class or whatever, you can go to her and she'll help you after school or whatever.
I think what helped me the most in Miss Herman's math classes were being organized and having a good understanding of the concepts we were talking about. There's nothing wrong with staying after class and asking more questions if you didn't get it in class.
Probably my calculator. That was definitely the best thing I had in class.
Do you have any tips for students who are going to take her class in the future?
Do your homework. Do your math Excel. Do your vocab. Yep. That's all I got. Stay awake. Stay awake.
To stay caught up, because if you get behind, you can't catch back up. And stay awake, and don't forget your calculators.
I would say be careful about using your calculator for everything, but because you never know when she's going to say no calculators, so I'd watch out for that.
Don't fall asleep. That's a big one. She hates it when you do that.
We've heard.
Yes. I've done that many times. And then you have to pretty much reteach the lesson yourself because you miss it all in class.
How fun was that?
It wasn't too bad.
What was your favorite thing about her class? What do you remember most?
There's nothing that stands out in particular, but the moments where you're following along the lecture and you just come across you steal her thunder, as she would say, and it just feels so good to have those little moments of those little epiphanies about what's happening in the math class and really enjoying that moment.
Are there any online resources that helped you in her class?
There were some online resources that hindered me, like Math Excel.
So this next shot is going to show you a Herman-approved binder that'll get you an A on binder checks. So this is my vocab book and my binder. It really helps if you keep all of your homework because she grades it and you can go back and look over it for the test. She really likes it when you do color coordination because she can tell the difference in your notes. Another thing she really likes is whenever you highlight your graphs and you have your tables to the side and you highlight everything, like I said, so she can tell the difference. So if you highlight things or just maybe colored pencil or pen, she really appreciates that because she knows exactly what you're doing or how you did it. She does a binder check before every single test, so that's one reason why your binder has to be really organized because that's how you get really good grades. Now, the vocab book, which is a blessing on tests because you get to use it even on your final and midterm, I think.
Even on your final and midterm.
You have obviously all of your vocab words and it really helps. You can put any example you want to in this to use it on the test, and she gives you sheets of paper from the textbook and I add examples on each, so whenever I maybe get to that on a test and I don't know what it is, I'll go back and I'll look and say, oh, that was that. So it really helps to have a really good vocab book to use on your test. And now we're going to talk to Miss Herman herself.
What is one thing that you've heard that students struggle with the most in your class?
Probably the number one comment I get is the amount of homework that I give and how much time it takes, And that is so not my intention that you have to spend, hours doing homework. it should only take you 20 or 30 minutes, but some people, it just takes them longer. You just got to use your time in class wisely and ask questions so that you get more proficient, so you get faster at it. The amount of practice each student needs is different, and I'm trying to hit everybody. So,
Are there any organization tips you could give to students that could help with your class?
if you miss class, it's not very good because you get behind and you have double the work. So if you already have a lot of homework and you miss, then you're going to have a really lot of homework. So that is not good, you know. So try to stay on top of it. The best thing you can do in my class is to stay on top of it. You know, don't get behind. Just try to keep up. And if you do have too much homework, let me know, because I'm just doing my best guess.
What would you say to people who forget things for your class, like a calculator?
It doesn't make me very happy, you know. Especially, I'm a little more patient at the beginning of the year, but when we get into it, I mean, you know you're going to need your pencils, your pens, your paper. We use a calculator almost every day, you know, and it's like I always say, you know, it's like a soldier going off to war without a gun. You don't have the stuff that you need, you know.
What about when people fall asleep in your class?
I hate it. So I wake them up. I ask them to sit up. I don't know if I should do that or not, but.
I think it's a good strategy.
And then I tell their parents they probably need to get more sleep.
What would you say to students that are coming into your class next year that are kind of scared because they've heard it so hard?
I probably just tell them to ask questions, keep up with your work. I don't think it's hard to pass my class. I think it's hard to get an A. I love teaching here.
Perfect. So after watching this video, hopefully you've learned how important it is to stay organized, to never forget your calculator,
And never fall asleep.
And also, we learned that even though it seems like Miss Herman is out to get you, she's really not, even if it feels like it all the time. She just really wants you to get good at math and be prepared for college. Ow!